you feel trapped in a never-ending cycle of work and chores, like you're on a hamster wheel with no time for your passion and what truly matters in life? I used to wonder, what is the point of working so hard if I'm just living a life that is consumed by my obligations? After reading and trialing multiple time management tips, I finally found a plan that actually worked. In this video, I'll show you where your time is actually disappearing to, how to rescue those lost hours, and my top tips on getting the most out of your time so you can finally make time for everything you want to do in life. The first thing you're going to want to do is to do a very thorough audit of your time. Basically, when you open your eyes first thing in the morning, I want you to start writing down the time and the activities that you're doing. So you're going to be time stamping your day throughout the entire day. And what that's going to do is to provide you a very clear picture of where every single minute of your time is going towards. 6:50 a.m., my alarm goes off. I start getting changed, getting ready for work. Then I start eating breakfast and clean up. I head out for work about 7:50. You get the idea. I want you to basically timestamp your whole day so you know exactly where every single minute is spent on. If you think that you already know where you are spending time on, I would still highly encourage you to not skip this exercise, because a lot of the time we underestimate the amount of time it takes us to do a certain task. And the second reason why you should do this exercise is because I find it's the small life admin task that really adds up and eats away your spare time, like going to collect your parcel in the post office, or paying the bills, picking up groceries. All these small bits and pieces really adds up. So just simply by being aware of how long you are actually taking to do these tasks and being intentional about it can help you cut down drastically the amount of the time you spend on these activities. Now that we have mapped out the timeline of our day, it's time to decide on our sacrifices.
The sacrifice.
I want you to go through your timeline and look at the things that you are doing unconsciously, just out of habit, when those activities don't really provide any value or purpose in your life. It could be just scrolling on your phone, browsing the web pages, or just mindlessly watching TV. It could be anything, but try to look through the timeline thoroughly and look at what are the things that doesn't provide any value to you. What do you want to delete out of the timeline? This can be very different for everyone, but it could be snoozing your alarm 7 times before you actually get out of bed. If you delete that activity in the morning, maybe you would have time to do a 10-minute stretching before you go to work. I notice over here that I am spending about 30 minutes from the time that I get home till I start preparing dinner and start eating dinner. And that is way more time than I really want to spend on to just wind down, getting changed. I was basically just lying around, being lazy, scrolling on my phone, and not being intentional with how I use the time. So this is one thing I can delete off of my timeline. And over here, I've noticed that I'm spending way more time to prepare and eat dinner and cleaning up afterwards than I really need to. So that's another trade-off that I'm going to be choosing. If you are struggling with deciding which activities you should trade off, then I've got some prompts for you to get started. Question 1, is this the best use of this particular time? In other words, is doing this activity pulling me closer to my dream life or pushing me away from what I want to actually do? Well, scrolling, lying around, and just wasting time isn't really actually helping me to recover from the tiredness of work, and it kind of drains my energy even more. So no, this is not how I want to live my life. So we can delete that off my timeline straight away. Question 2 is asking, what's going to happen if I just completely stop doing this task? Is it going to affect my life dramatically? Am I going to regret not doing it? Am I going to miss not doing this activity? Well, I know that I'm definitely not going to miss not cooking or cleaning. I see these as house chores rather than a hobby. But I don't really want to rely completely on takeouts. They're not that healthy and they cost a bit more. So I'm going to dedicate some time in the weekends to do meal prepping so that I can just heat up my dinner in the microwave as soon as I get home, and it won't take me as much time to clean up afterwards. And this last question is so powerful, it will help you prioritize what you should be working on right now. If you are unsure whether you should trade off your time in the evening watching Netflix to starting that business idea you've always dreamed of, just ask yourself, in 6 months' time, what would I have wished that I focused on today? For me, content creation is definitely not easy and requires a lot of work, but the process of making videos and learning new skills along the way has been so rewarding and brought so much fulfillment to my life. It's definitely not something that I would trade off. I'm curious, what's the trade-off you've decided on to make time for that precious thing on top of your priority list? Let me know in the comments below. Now we can go through that list of unscheduled things on your to-dos or wish list. This could be a list of hobbies that you've always wanted to pick up again, or something new that you wanted to try out. I have a list of activities on my Notion, and you can see over here I'm a bit of a multi-passionate person. Gardening, drawing, finance, content creation. Whatever it is that you want to do, find your prime hour of the day and time block that hour for yourself. And when I say prime hour, basically it just means that the hour of the day you find yourself most productive, most focused, and most sharp. This could be very different for everyone. For some people, it could be in the mornings before all the distractions come in, or it could be later during the quiet nights when their concentration start to peak. Follow your own biological clock and work around those hours is going to get you the most out of your time. Now you have time blocked your prime hour and scheduled in that big projects, but the devil is in the details. Look further into your timeline. Can you identify any micro moments, any small pockets of time throughout the day where you're not doing anything? Well, I definitely can. See over here, at 8:20 a.m. I arrive at work and park my car, but I don't actually start work until 8:30. So I've got that 10-minute gap where I'm not actually doing anything. How can I make the most out of those 10 minutes? Well, I can read a few pages of the novel that I've been wanting to read, or I can continue to work on my Notion templates. And over here, there's another gap where I'm just waiting for the microwave to heat up my dinner, waiting for the kettle to boil. I can quickly update my to-do list or calendar. So in this step, the action for you to do is to come up with a menu of activities that you can do during these micro moments of free time. Try to list out activities that doesn't require deep focus. Here is a list of examples for inspiration. While you're waiting in line to check out, you can reply to emails, check your payslips. While you're waiting for an appointment, you can brainstorm content ideas if you do content creation. You can do a quick review of your daily priorities, look at your goals, and see if you need to adjust any of your evening schedules while you're waiting for your dinner to heat up. Maybe you're trying to learn a new skill, like learning a new language, or studying for your exam. Well, while you're waiting at the cafe for that coffee order, you can look at the flashcard and try to memorize a few words. These are all different ways you can better utilize those small pockets of free time throughout the day and get more things done. And now you might be thinking you've already filled up your timeline and there's no more gaps, but you still have things that you want to do. Well, this next one is going to be a game changer, and that is called task stacking. It's essentially combining activities that uses different types of attention and mental space. I can already see on my timeline there are a lot of potentials. So over here, during my commute to work, I drive and it takes me about 30 minutes. So while I'm driving, I can put on the audiobook or tune into a podcast. During my lunch break at work, I can watch tutorials on video editing while I'm eating lunch. And while I'm preparing dinner, loading the laundry, folding clothes, I can jump on a call and chat to my friends and family. Task stacking is different from multitasking, where you are required to rapidly switch your attention between tasks that compete for the same mental resources. Like trying to write an essay while you're talking on the phone, it's going to end up hurting the performance of both tasks. The key is to pair activities that doesn't require the same type of focus. So your homework for this step is to just pick one task that you can stack on top of your existing timeline. This could be listening to podcast or audiobook while you are commuting, while you're walking, or doing chores. You can brainstorm content ideas while you're showering, or call your family and friends while you are folding laundries or meal prepping. Now here's the thing, even with all these extra time that you found, if you're coming home from work completely drained, you are still going to end up on the couch wasting time instead of pursuing your passion. That's exactly why you should watch this video right here on how to stop wasting your time after an exhausting 9 to 5. Over there, I show you the strategies I use to preserve and boost my energy levels so that you can stay motivated even after the most draining workday. Because having time means nothing if you don't have the energy to use it. These two videos together will completely change your life. So go check it out now. I'll see you over there.